Hey there, folks. It's Jimmy Stewart here, hoping this is finding you all doing well. Hey, in today's video, folks, we got something a little new. Well, not necessarily new, but a little bit different here in 2025. The good folks at Fesley Music Company was chatting with me about a week or so ago and asked me if I'd be interested in taking a look at one of their new guitar pedals that they were doing. Take a look, do a review. I said, hey, I would love to. Fesley's not just a guitar company. They actually they're a full line music company, Fesley Music. And they've got everything from electronic drums to pianos to guitars to, wireless systems. And in this particular case, a guitar pedal. Now, they sent me the guitar pedal, and lo and behold, folks, check this out. Yeah, I was a little surprised too. They sent me a link, and when I looked at this, I went, wow, this is not just, I thought maybe they were just sending me a guitar effects pedal, a reverb unit or a delay unit or something. This is actually their workstation here, and this is the Fesley FME-1000, as you can see right here. And this is, think hot tone like I have down here, but this has actually got, this is a multi-guitar effects processor and amp modeler with a bunch of stuff on this. 24 different, 300 different presets are available. This has got different, 9 different built-in effects modules with 157 effects types in all. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So again, you're talking at a multiple different style unit here, not just, let me see what we got here. It's not just an effects pedal, it's an effects amp modulator and simulator, speaker cabinets, that type of thing. Whoa, look at this. So you're going to have a lot of things in here, and I think what I'm going to plan on doing here, because these can be very, very time consuming, just learning all the different things on this particular pedal, and of course trying to show that to you in a review is going to be consuming, you know what I mean, tough to do. So what I think I'll do on this is I'm going to go over the basic unit, some of the specs of the unit, of course, the important specs, and then we'll get it set up. And again, effects units like this can be set up in a majority of different ways depending on how you're using it, whether you're using it live, or whether you're using it as a recording unit, or sending it into your DAW on your computer. All kinds of different things. As you can see, the layout on here. So I'm just going to go over the main features it's talking about. It is smart reverse modeling technique with 61 different preamp modulations. So the tone is very similar to real amplifiers, compatible with the Fesley laboratory software to upload amp models. So you can actually hook it up and upload stuff through their library here. It's got 9 built-in effect modules, 157 different effects types in all. 26 preset IR sample cab rates in models, and supports third-party sample rate IR uploads. 300 preset tones are available. Supports CTRL pedal switch functions and tap tempo functions. You can adjust the chain effects loops sequence as you like, which is cool. Features an expression pedal, and various effect parameters can be adjusted. External expression pedals can be used simultaneously. Again, very cool. Sound card recording can be achieved by USB audio, PC editing for tone and firmware upgrades. It's got a 52-second looper built in. 3.5-inch color screen for better visual effects. Gotta love that. Supports headphone output and practice quietly. Supports aux in, so you can actually send something in like your phone and or iPad or something like that. Oh, it's got a drum machine with 40 drum patterns and 10 metronome rhythms as well. So those are just some of the main features and highlights of this. There's a bunch of other stuff in here as well. And of course, like I said, setting all this up in different configurations depending on what you're doing. I'm probably going to go ahead for, ease of use. It's got a quick tour here on the in the manual showing you the different ways to set it up. And again, I'm going to assume it's pretty similar, in setup to like my Impero. I have both the Impero Hot Tone, Hotone, Impero MP100, and I have the Impero 1, which is a slimmed down, scalar version of this. So I'm assuming it's going to be similar to those kinds of units. And just looking briefly at the setup configurations here, it looks very similar as far as inputs and outputs. Very, very cool. So there's the owner's manual. We're going to put that right up here. This is your AC to DC plug that it comes with. Oh, and I like that it's not a huge... Yeah, that's cool. It's not a huge wall wart. It's nice, it's small. And then the unit itself actually looks very, very cool. Let's take this out of the box here. We can get it out. Oh, what's this? Oh, USB. Again, you can hook this up as a USB controller if you want to plug your guitar in and control it right into your DAW software, your recording software on your computer, depending on what you use. Oh, wow. Okay, now this is not a flimsy unit, folks. This is quite nice, actually. Pretty hefty. This is a metal unit. It's not plastic. Wow. Very nice. Expression pedal over here. Again, set up very similar to my Hotone, Hot Tone unit down there. You get your screen up here. Again, 1, 2, 3. 3 different foot switches, which in combination, you pump these together and then you'd be able to change your patches up and down, I'm assuming, and then up and down this way. Master and value, I guess, changes, so you go into whatever patch you're going into and use that value switch. Then you've got all your different, wow, there's 9 different, you got FX and comp, DS and OD, amp, cab, EQ, modulation, delays, reverbs. Wow, all the way across. Then your tap and tap rhythms, your save buttons, play buttons, system buttons. Very nice. Okay, now looking at the output, the back of this unit here. Again, it looks very similar to my Hotone, my Impero. You've got a separate expression switch, 3/4 or 1/4 plug here. Aux in plug, which is a 1/8, like a headphone plug. Your normal in. Then you got your lift and ground here. Your outputs are XLR. You got left and right stereo outputs that are balanced XLR, and then 1/4 inch, like a guitar jack, left and right outputs as well. Your 1/8 inch headphone output, USB in and out. Okay, and they give you a USB cord with that. Your on and off switch and your voltage plug. Your plug in for your AC to DC conversion right here. Wow. And again, this is hefty, folks. This is like, I'm not sure if they list the weight on this. I'm sure it does someplace. I'm going to say it's a good 7 or 8 pounds weight. Yeah, the unit is about the same size as my Impero. And again, I'm going to go ahead and set up another camera here when I go to hook this up so you have a better view of this. We'll do an overhead view and I'll show you the comparisons in size and that kind of stuff. but very, very nice. I like it. It's kind of a brushed aluminum look. The switching feels good. And hopefully some great sounds in this, right? And that's kind of what we're looking for here. So anyway, let me go ahead. I'll stop it here and we'll do some camera arrangements, and I'll try to get some overhead views, and we'll go ahead and do a basic hookup of this, and then hopefully do some sound checks. Let's get to it, folks. Okay, we're going to do a little handheld recording here until I can set the camera up, but I wanted to show you this unit here. You can see this is like a brushed aluminum. It's heavy, about 7.2 pounds according to the specs. And it's set up very similar to my Impero. I'm going to go ahead and show you the input outputs on the back here. You can see my pedal board down there. There's my Impero. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on so you can see the boot up, and then I'll show you the boot up and how I have this set up currently. So there's the boot up of the Impero. Okay. And then I have the outputs going via my Boss loop station there. And then I have the outputs of that going to my Mackie if I wanted to use the house PA system down here, and also into my Monoprice 15-watt amp, which is what I normally end up using unless I'm doing acoustic work or something like that. I'll send that to the Mackie. But most of everything goes to the Monoprice, and I use my effects loop, my effects in and out on the Monoprice amp. So that's basically the setup. Again, I've got my two boards. I don't use a lot here. One is a studio board and the other is a live board, and that's where the other Impero is. But right now I'm going to go ahead and set this up similar to this, because the inputs and outputs of this are basically identical. You get your expression foot switch, your aux in, your guitar in, a ground lift there, your two XLR outs. Again, if I was using this for front of house, I'd be using those balanced outputs there. I'd be using those. But using the amp, we will use the mono outputs, and you can see that the left is the mono, so that's the one that we will use. Then you get your headphone output, your USB, again, if you wanted to use this as a controller for your computer system, your on-off switch, and of course your power in-out right here. So nice. Okay, now I'm going to run it down here, show you. As you can see, it is about the exact same size as my Impero here. Yeah. Set up a little bit different. So let's go ahead and plug it in. And then I will see, we got the plug here. Okay. And I'm going to run this the same way as I would run the Impero here. It's a basic setup. Again, guitar input. It's going to go to guitar input here. And the guitar output, the output of this, again, is running to my loop station. I'm going to pull this. I'm going to use the mono left output. that's going to go to my loop station. Okay. So let's power this on. You know, the power switch is right there. There's the boot up of the Fesley. And there we are. Cool. I like the blue LEDs. Looks pretty nice. And as you can see, it's going to patch 1. See 001, then you got A, B, and C. So if you go to A, that's a 65 twin, clean, it looks like. And then you go to the B. I guess, okay, to come out, you gotta hit this switch to come out. And then you can go to C. So you got 3 different patches in each one of these. If you use, and again, I will set up a camera to show you that, but that's pretty cool. We back out again. Okay, so now you're backed out. I think if you hold these down, you can, and again, I'm going to raise this up so I don't have to be bent over showing you all this. I'll raise it up. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll fix the camera here, okay? Okay, so I've got this camera set up here so you can see this as best as I can set it up currently at the moment, and that's why I don't have to bend over. I'm going to go ahead and use my Squier Contemporary Jag. No particular reason outside of the fact that I haven't played it in a while and it's a cool guitar. So we're going to do that, and hopefully I can get this under here and not have any issues. Looks like we're good. I'm going to grab a pick from over here. And here, folks, if you hold, if you can see on here, it says tuner and looper and rhythm, okay? So if you hold one of these buttons down, for instance, I'm going to switch this back off. So now I'm back to 01A. This is how it boots up. 001A, then you got B and C. So there's three different patches available in each one. You can just switch each one to it. You can see I'm at B. Then I can do some different things depending on what I have in B. If I want to exit, I exit, and I can go to C. C is a British 800. Again, it's the patch that's set in there. J City CL, I'm not sure what that means. It's clean, I would imagine. And these are listed in the manual, so I can check them out, you know, and we'll do that. And of course, the 65 twin, it says clean, is the one here. So I'm going to look at the manual here, and it's got these all listed in here, beginning with the FX comp. Again, you can see on here you got FX comp, your 9 different effects. You got DS and OD. Those will be overdrives. The different amps and cabs. NS is for noise gates. EQ, modulation, delays, and reverbs. And again, those can be assigned. And you can see it's cool because when I bring up this 01A right here, this 65 twin, you can see that its amp and cab are lit. So those are on, and there's a bit of reverb on it, okay? Now, if I wanted to change the reverb, I could go into the reverb and change that. See, right now it's set for room. And I think that's really cool. Now, if I want to get out of there again, I think if I hit, yeah, I can hit A switches back. And if I wanted to change some of that, you know, change the parameters and add some other stuff, I could go up and hit the save button and record that particular, you can adjust each patch and save them to your own. So again, it's got your models. For FX and comp models, there's a Dunlap 95, there's a Crybaby, there's a Moyer Wah, all kinds of stuff. And for your DSOD, you got Moyers, you got Dunlap Fuzz Faces, you've got Boss Metal Zones, Big Muffs, Fullertone OCDs, all kinds of stuff listed in here. And for your amps, you got a 65 Deluxe, which is what this one is currently. It's in the clean mode. CL meaning clean. And again, it goes on and on and on. Everything, all the different Fender amps, Marshall amps, Engel amps, Mesa Boogie amps, Orange, Solando, PVs. It goes on and on and on, hundreds and hundreds. Same thing with your cabs. You got different noise gates and EQs, 5-band, 6-band, 3-band parametric EQs. Modulations, you got phasers and step phasers and choppy cutoff filters and pitch modulation. You could go for hours here just bringing up all these different patches and all these different effects. Ring modulators, stomp box analogs, auto swell volumes. For delay, you got crystal clear repeats of an 80s delay unit. You got modified classic stomp boxes, digital delays, realistic and natural echoes, 70s tape echo, digital delay with modulated repeats, backwards delay, 2 delays with independent controls, stereo delay for ping pong effects. You got small room, large room, huge room, studio style plate reverbs, classic spring reverbs, reverbs with modulation, and spacious and atmospheric reverbs. So pretty cool. Last page of this lists the specs. You got 9 modules, 157 different effects, 300 presets, inputs of a 1/4-inch mono audio jack, which is your normal jack for your guitar. Outputs is 1/4-inch mono audio jacks left and right. And of course your XLR balanced jack outputs left and right. You got an aux in for stereo. You got a headphone out, 1/8. You can hook up expression pedals. The sampling rate on this is 44.1 kHz. The bit rate is 24-bit. Signal to noise ratio is 98 dB. And your IR is your impulse responses, format or wave, obviously. Sampling rate is 44.1 kHz sampling rate supported. Sampling accuracy, again, is 24-bit and 512 samples. It's 9-volt VC at 1 amp with your center positive on your... Again, I could go through this and it will take hours, folks, but I did a basic setup here. As you can see, simple mono going out to my pedal, and I increased this length here so I could go down to my loop station, and of course the guitar input right here. And we are on a 65 twin with just a bit of reverb, so let's have a listen. Nice. Let's go to B. I don't know what B is. J City, clean. Woo. Okay, so now on that one you can see we got some overdrive listed here. Amp and cab is on again, and some reverb. And C, British 800. Now again, we got overdrive, amp and cab, delays and reverbs on here, and you can see the difference with this. That's pretty cool. And again, you can adjust any of these parameters by just clicking in there, and it will tell you what is on there. So for instance, if I wanted to go to the amp, let's check a look. Again, this is a British amp. What cab am I using? It's using an ELG 412 cab here to stimulate. And you can actually change the balance of the microphone to set it to center and the distance from the mic. I mean, you can just get really, really into this, changing all these different parameters, which I think is pretty cool. All right, so we're back to the O1C. Let's go ahead, and if you use these two buttons, it should bring it up to the next bank. Except I can't do it with one hand, so let's try it like this. There we go. Now we see it's an O2. And under O2, you got two A, B, C. This is a J Fusion. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right. German rhythm. I don't know. Sounds pretty cool too. Mark 5, clean, no overdrive. All right. Very cool. I'm going to go back to the tuner section here. Again, if you hold down, it brings up the tuner. Now, if I hold down B, that should bring up the looper. And if I hold down C, that should bring up the metronome and drum machine, the rhythm sections of this particular thing. But the tuner is very cool here. Look at this. Just a little on that east. There it is, see? Oh, now it's showing up a little high, but there it is. I just thought that's, you know, the tuner is very, very nice. And again, you can adjust from 440 kHz to whatever type of tuning that you want. I think it's pretty cool. It's a little bit, it seems to be more accurate as far as the, you know, those green needles in between as compared to the tuner on my Ampero. You know, it seems quite accurate, honestly. All right, so let's bring these up one more. Let's go to 3. This is bank number 3 here. And I'm going to go to 3A. That's a 65 Deluxe in the drive mode. So let's... Pretty cool. This looks like an EG50 lead. And you can see all the different effects that are lined up on this one. Overdrive, the amp and cap, of course. It's got a noise gate going on in there, delay and reverb. And if you wanted to change any of those, again, you just go into whatever it is. You go into your delay, and I could adjust that delay, okay? And save it if I wanted to. Save it as my own patch. All right, so let's get back out of there. And we'll go to number 3, Brown. Brown 3 with distortion, it looks like. Nice. See if I can do this with one hand. 4, I did. Okay. Triple lead on 4A is a pitch shifter. That's pretty cool. Okay. Now here's the triple lead. Wow, okay. And C is a plexi dual. All right, very cool. Again, we can go on and on and on going through all these 300 different patches, but I'm not going to do that because that's very time consuming and you guys will be switching away from here. So again, if I go down and hold this rhythm, okay, so we got beat number 1. I can change that. Number 2. Beat number 3, beat number 2. I can change the beats per minute, slow it down. And change the volume. That's pretty cool. Because you have a master volume here. I like that. Very nice. And of course now you can see that you have your tap here too, so I can change by using the tap. And change it like that. Now if I want to leave that, I can go back out, and let's go to my 04. Go to pitch shifter again. And if I want to stop, now let's see, how do I stop it? Okay, so in the rhythm section, you can stop it by holding that down. Okay, go back to your whatever you were playing here. And I'm sure, like my Ampero, it says you can use external foot switches and external controllers as well, using that external button. So if you wanted to add a couple of foot switches, you know, for shutting off your rhythm and turning it on and off, making it a lot easier than having to push, you know, go into a menu. I like the menu on this. The menu is actually fairly nice. It tells you pretty much everything that's going on here at a glance, and I'd like that. It doesn't seem like a lot of stuff buried. Your main things like the rhythm and your looper. I haven't tried the looper yet. Again, I have a dedicated looper, so I wouldn't be using this much really, but we can try it, I suppose. You can see it's got a basic exit, record, and stop clear, and those would be these buttons here. So that would be exiting it, that would be recording, and that would be clearing. So let's just record something here. And there you go. You know, so you could do whatever you want. I think they said it's up to 52 seconds, 52-second looper here. And that just cleared it. And I'm going to go back out, and there I am, back to my dual plexi here. Triple. Nice. Very, very cool. Hitting these two buttons here brings it down. This is now set up as a volume switch, I think. Let me see. Okay, it's not doing anything in this particular mode, but in some of them, it acts as a swell pedal or a wah-wah pedal. What else may I show you here real quick? So we tried the looper, we did the tuner, we did the rhythm. Oh, on the rhythm as well, there's a... You can change to your metronome as well. You know, for practice, you want to learn something. And again, just like on the rhythm and the metronome, you can adjust the beats per minute, the volume, all that stuff. What kind of metronome you have. So, all that kind of good stuff. And back. You know, the patches that I've listed here, now again, I haven't gone through many of them. I don't want to take up a ton of time, but it shows you, I mean, it's very clean. Sounds very, very good. I have no complaints at all with the FX. It's got a lot of different stuff going on. Lots of different reverbs that you can do, delays that you can do, all the different modulations and EQs and noise gates, different amps and cabs, your compressors, your FX, your overdrives and digital overdrives. I mean, it's got a ton of stuff, folks. This currently right now is on Amazon for, I think it's $299.99. And if you want, you know, or you're interested in looking at something like this for yourselves, again, I highly recommend it. I don't know about longevity. I'm sure it's going to be obviously fine. My Impero I've had for a number of years now. Never an issue with it. I would imagine the exact same thing would come from the Fesley, the FME-1000 here. $299.99, and if you use the Jimmy Stewart code, exclusive code I'm going to put on this video for you, you can get 28% off on Amazon. Use the Jimmy Stewart code, and again, I'll put a little link in my description and a link to the Fesley website, their website, not the Amazon website, where you can see everything that the Fesley's got going on. But that code will give you this thing for around $215, which I think is amazing. My Impero was $329. I think they're selling for $319, basically the same price currently on Amazon. So very, very compatible. Sounds just as good in my opinion. I kind of like the menu a little bit better. I can get around without having to dig through a bunch of things. And again, folks, I just took this out of the box, so I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but I'm kind of familiar with the Impero, and it's based similarly on that. Your major things you hold down, you can get your looper, your tuner, your rhythm. Couple of buttons changes, and you can adjust all kinds of different things. Everything that you want to do on here. Again, stereo output. It's a very attractive unit, brushed aluminum. Looks great, sounds very, very good. And again, I've just got a basic setup going on here. A single mono output going to my amplifier. No issues at all. As you can see, I'm not getting any noise at all from it. Very, very nice. And the tuner section of this I really like as well, because you can, look at that. Pretty accurate, man. I like it. I'm going to go back down. Let's see how I go back down. There we go, back to 1. And that's my 65 twin. Very, very cool, right? The FME-1000. Again, folks, they're on Amazon right now, $299.99. Use the Jimmy Stewart code. Get yourself 28% off. Brings it right down to around $215. And that code, I think, is good until February 8th, okay? My thanks to everybody at Fesley Music. Thank you so much for sending the unit up here. Again, guys, if you have specific questions, things I haven't really gone through, again, I didn't go through all the ins and outs. It can get very, very deep. But if you have a question, let me know in the comments. I'll see if I can answer it for you, or at least find the answer for you, okay? If you're at all interested in a unit like this, the price is great. Be kind of hard to beat. Take a look around Amazon and look at the different guitar workstations like this that have these features built into it. And, getting that kind of sound. I think the sound is really, really good. As the sound in my Impero is very, very nice as well. That's the reason why I picked one up, because the sounds are great. Very versatile. Again, you got all the different inputs and outputs you could ask for. You got USB inputs and outputs to go directly to your computer and into your digital software, your recording software. Nice, just very, very nice. I like it. So there we are. Hey folks, thank you so much for stopping into the channel. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I would ask you all to, that's right, come on over to the good side. We would love to have you on board. Until next time, folks, it's Jimmy Stewart saying so long. Please take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay healthy, be kind to each other. Again, if you're in the market for something like this, go to Amazon or go to Fesley Music. I'll leave links. Use that Jimmy Stewart code, and you can pick yourself up one of these for a great price. All right? Okay, folks. So long. Talk to you all very, very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.